SpongeBob, you gotta help me! Patrick and Mr. Krabs aren't working out, and Squilliam's almost here, and... SpongeBob?
I can't do it. I can't do it, Squidward.
What?
Every sentence, every paragraph, spoons, bread, salt, pepper. Don't you understand? My brain is full to bursting. If I have to memorize a single order, I think I'm gonna explode.
SpongeBob, hold on! Let's just take a second here to relax. Little more. Little more. Good. Now, I want you to empty your mind.
Empty my mind.
Empty your mind.
Empty my mind.
Empty your mind of everything that doesn't have to do with fine dining. Fine dining and breathing.
Just got an order from the boss. Dump everything that isn't about fine dining. Everything? Everything. Come on, come on, come on. Take it, come on, let's get moving. Hurry up, what do you think I'm paying you for? You don't pay me. You don't even exist. We're just a clever visual metaphor used to personify the abstract concept of thought. One more crack like that and you're out of here. No, please! I have 3 kids. You are the man.
How do you feel? SpongeBob?
It is a fact that we have the most advanced neurological system compared to the birds, animals, or anybody. But we also have a psychological process. Whatever your psychological process is, your thought, your emotion, is only happening because of a certain amount of information that you have gathered. Oh, you think she's a wonderful person, that's a certain kind of a thought. She's a bad person, that's another kind of a thought. Oh, he's like that, she's like that. With all this information, whatever you have gathered, whether it's right or wrong, it does not matter. The type of information you gather determines the type of thought or the type of emotion that you have. This is one thing. If you teach human beings to understand your psychological process is entirely your drama. It's got nothing to do with reality. Your psychological drama has nothing to do with reality here. 100 people can be sitting here and everybody in their own psychological space, and they are in 100 different worlds. They are not in this real world. So, Sadhguru often says that he is an empty head. And because he's only in this real world, he's paying attention to it. He's got nothing going on in his head. If he sits in one place, once in a while, whenever he takes a break for 4 to 5 days, if he just closes his eyes, he does not have a single thought in his mind. He does not read, he does not watch television, he does not write, he does not even look out of the window. Not a single thought on his mind. Because psychological process is just a small drama which has become magnified simply because you have become so identified with it. It is like this. People often come up to Sadhguru and tell him, Sadhguru, I want to meditate, but the thoughts are coming. He asks them, see, I will teach you another kind of meditation where your kidney function will stop, your liver function will stop, your heart function will stop. Are you interested? No. Then what? You only want your brain function to stop. Why? See, when you sit and meditate, your kidneys are functioning, liver is functioning, heart is functioning, you have no issue. Only if your brain functions, you have a problem. Yes or no? Why is that? Because you are not so identified with your kidney functions, but you are super identified with your thought process and your emotions. Because you are so identified with them, you think they are you. Because of that, now it has obliterated your experience of life. Tell me, in 24 hours' time, how many moments are there beyond thought you looked at something? For most people, there is not even a single moment, or some people will have a few moments. Sadhguru has got just a few moments of thought. Rest of the time, he's just like the sky. Simply sitting there, just life. Are you life? Think about it. Tell me properly. Are you really life? Yes? Yes, you are life, isn't it? Because I am alive, I have a body, I have a thought, I have an emotion, I have a home, I have this, and so many things. All accessories. But you are experiencing the accessories of life. Is there experience of life on a daily basis? You are misunderstanding your psychological drama to be your life. Your psychological drama is your drama and may be badly directed. But it is not life. When it is badly directed, people suffer from it. When it is nicely directed, people enjoy it. So your psychological drama is yours. You can play it, nothing wrong with it. It's like we are playing a game. We are in a tennis court. But somewhere, you hit the ball, you play squash, you hit the ball, you enjoy it. But after some time, you keep the racket down and you go and rest, isn't it? Right now, with this psychological drama, you are not able to stop. Just imagine that you started playing tennis and you couldn't stop yourself. 24 hours. How would you suffer from tennis? That's exactly what's happening here. Your psychological process has become uncontrollable. It's unstoppable. It's going on and on and on. So the simplest solution for this is, don't try to stop it, because you're not trying to stop your kidneys and liver and heart and whatever else is there inside you. You're fine with that. Only with brain function you have a problem because of the identification you have with it. You have misunderstood your thoughts to be you, isn't it? Whatever your thought is, you are thinking that it is you. But your thought is coming from a certain information that you gathered from the outside. If I wipe out all that memory in you, will you have a thought? No. It is only coming from the type of information you gathered from the outside. What type of the information you gathered is not by choice. If you walk on the street, everything that you see or touch or taste or smell gets recorded. You have no control over it. What goes inside of you as information is not in your hands. At least 90% of it is not in your hands. It's just happening all the time. Everything that you sense through the 5 sense organs is getting inside you and getting recorded. There is no good, bad or ugly in this. It is just information. Now by your recognition, you say, oh, this is nice. This is nasty, it becomes bad. This is horrible, then it becomes ugly. This is your doing. But information is simply pouring in and getting recorded. What you gather, whatever you gather, it can be yours, but it cannot be you. I can say, this is my towel. But if I say that this is me, you will think I have gone crazy, isn't it? Right now, that's all that is happening. What you gather, you start to think that it is you. Let me go a little more basic to explain it further. The body. Were you born like this? No. You came like this and now you've become this much. How did it happen? Just because of the food that you have eaten. Or it is just The earth that we are walking upon, which became food, we ate the food and now we have become like this. Countless number of people have walked on this planet just like you and me. They were also smart people. Where are they now? They have all become soil. They have turned to soil. So will this body become? Yes or no? Unless your friends bury you really deep thinking that you will rise from the dead. Otherwise, this body will also become soil. Well, we don't want to go today, but inevitably one day we will go, isn't it? So this is just the soil which turned into food. We ate that food and we made this body. This body is an accumulation over the period of time. It is. What did you accumulate? Food. What you accumulated became yours. But can it ever be you? Whatever you accumulate, at the most you can claim it is mine. I will not dispute that right now, but a day will come. But you cannot say it is me, isn't it? Whatever you accumulate can never ever be you. What you have accumulated in the form of food and in the form of information, you clearly know that it is not me, it is not you. Simply looking at life just the way it is, without being influenced by anything, without being identified with anything. Simply life is the truth of life. You are fundamentally life. Essentially, you are just life. You being alive right now is the most important thing in your life. But unfortunately, this is not in focus. Today, what I am thinking has become more important than my being alive. My little emotion has become more important than the fact that I am alive right now. See, today morning the sun came out on time. Yes? You're thinking, all right, what about it? What's new? There was this one time when Sadhguru was flying a helicopter in America. It was a nice warm day. So Sadhguru was flying an open helicopter because the weather was good. They went up there and then they suddenly hit a cold front. All that happened was that the sun got really blocked out by the cloud and it became really cold. So cold that their hands were not in control and Sadhguru decided to come back. As they were coming down, Sadhguru was just debating with a couple of people. Supposing that the sun does not come out tomorrow, what will happen? Maybe in 3 months this will happen, 6 months that will happen. They're just guessing. And then Sadhguru did a little bit of research. And this is what he found out. If the sun does not come out tomorrow, within 18 hours, everything that you know as life on this planet will be gone. Except for a few microbial forms of life deep down in the earth, everything else will be wiped out within 18 hours of time. And just now, I'm giving you a fabulous piece of information. The sun came out on time today morning. Now we should be clapping. The planet is spinning on time. Again, an applause. Don't you think it's good? No accidents in the solar system. One planet did not clash into the other. All of them are sticking to their lanes. In the entire universe, not a single accident. Everything is going fantastic in the universe, in the larger cosmos, in the larger picture. But one nasty little thought is crawling in your head and it becomes a bad day suddenly. Everything in the cosmos is going great, but one nasty little thought. And we end up declaring it to be a bad day. The problem is that we have lost perspective as to who we are in this cosmos, in this solar system. This planet is a speck. This earth is a speck. If tomorrow our solar system evaporates, nobody will notice. In that speck, planet Earth is a microspeck. In that microspeck, India is a super microspeck. And in that super microspeck, you are a big man or a big woman. And this is your problem. This is your psychological drama. exaggerating things to a point where you think that if you have one bad thought, the whole world is ruined. Because we have gotten identified with the thoughts that we generate, with the emotions that we create, not understanding that it's our prerogative to create the type of thoughts we want, create the type of emotions we want. It is your choice. It is your choice to create your type of thoughts, your type of emotions. Right now, our own intelligence has turned against us. We don't need any external help. We are just doing fine by ourselves, ruining ourselves. Simply sitting, standing, rich, poor, every kind is suffering from the same problem. Overthinking, mind's chatter. Toddlers have problems. Adolescents have too many problems. Middle age crisis, old age terrible. Tell me which time of your life is fantastic. The problem is not anywhere else. The problem is just that we have lost control over our psychological drama. Because the existential drama of life is not in our experience. Our psychological drama is like a cloud blocking the sun. We don't experience life. We only experience thoughts, ideas, emotions, prejudices, and all the rubbish that we can generate in our mind instead of living in the Creator's creation. We are living in our own petty creation. That's the problem. Sadhguru did not create anything of his own, and that is why he is in this world, in his words. Let's try to learn that. Let's try to disengage from this drama. Let's try to sit back, take a step back, make some distance, and look at our bodies, our minds, and our thoughts as they are, but without attaching our identities to either of them. Let's understand now. It's high time to understand now that we are a pure energy or a consciousness which belongs to this universe, this vast cosmos. This body will dissolve one day. So will the brain, so will the mind, and so will the thoughts. We are not these entities. We are a pure energy, an energy which will ultimately unite with the energy of the universe once this body dissipates. So let's understand the true perspective of life. Just like Sadhguru says, we are too busy living in our own imaginary worlds which we have created in our minds. Let's step out of this imaginary world because it is just imaginary and live in this reality, this real world. And this reality is nothing but the very present moment. This present moment is life. This present moment is our own reality, is the only reality which we have. Present moment is life. Present moment is all that you really have. The only real thing about life is the present moment. The only reality of life is this present moment as I talk to you. As you watch this video, listening to me, this present moment is actual life. It's high time we start living in the present moment to relish the beauty of life and to enjoy it in all its glory. A whole lot of thought about this thoughtlessness is going on. Thoughtlessness, no mind. These kinds of fancy terms have been propagated all over the world, and these terms have been misunderstood and all kinds of things, and people are striving how to achieve a state of no mind. It took years and years of evolution to achieve a mind of this capability, millions of years of tremendous amount of nature's work, and today you have a mind of this much scope, and now we want to stop it. Why is it that we want to stop it? If your mind was constantly producing absolute pleasantness for you, would you want to still stop it? Would you? No. It's producing a lot of unpleasantness. That's why you are thinking about how to stop the mind. It's the first thing. Wherever you go in the world, it has gone so much into people's minds. If you tell them to meditate, they will tell you, but I'm not able to stop my mind. And I tell them that this will happen only when you can stop your kidneys, your liver, your heart from working. You stop all these organs from functioning, then obviously the mind will also stop functioning. Do you want your organs to stop? No. But then why do you want your mind to stop? Why do you have such a horrible prejudice against the mind? You don't mind if your liver is working, your kidneys are functioning, you can meditate, your heart functions, you can meditate. But you seem to have something against your brain, something against your intelligence. This is a conspiracy against human intelligence, that in order to meditate, your brain must be frozen. Why? No. You don't have to freeze your brain. There are so many ways to initiate the process of meditation. A lot of beautiful, powerful ways which can be used. There are so many ways to meditate. There are so many beautiful ways to initiate meditation into your life. And all these different kinds and styles of meditation just do the same thing. And that same thing is to make you realize that you are neither your body nor your mind, nor the thoughts running in your mind. You know, this mind, this brain becomes a source of misery only when we start to identify ourselves with it. When we start to identify ourselves with the thoughts running in it. And that is wrong. That is what should not be happening. It's a good idea to initiate yourself into meditation. It's a powerful process. If you sit here, you will see that your body is here, your mind is somewhere else, and who you are is somewhere else. Once there is a distance or a space between you and the mind, then what the mind is doing is not even an issue. It is like you are stuck in the traffic jam. You are struggling through the traffic. That's one experience. Suppose you are standing on Chamundi Hill, or you're floating in a hot air balloon, and then you look down at all the traffic. Very peacefully you will say, that's traffic. Why? Because of the distance, isn't it? When you are in it, it's like, traffic. That's a different experience altogether. Now really high up there, sitting in a hot air balloon, you're looking down, you can't even hear the honking and the sounds. It looks wonderful and exotic. Traffic, isn't it? Yes or no? Why? Because there is a distance. So once there is a distance between you and your mind's activity, the mind is not a problem anymore. The mind is a miracle. It is not a problem anymore. And anyway, if thoughts are going on continuously, if you are having a mental diarrhea, obviously the diarrhea is there because you ate some bad food. If you have a physical diarrhea, it's because you ate some bad food. If you are having mental diarrhea, obviously you have consumed something wrong. What this wrong thing could be? The moment you identify yourself with something that you are not, then you are done. It's a continuous dance of the mind. There is no other way. Do what you want. Try as hard as you want. It is not going to stop. If you do not identify yourself with anything that you are not, you know how to be with everything, you know how to use everything, but you don't identify yourself with it, then you can sit here. And your mind can do whatever it wants to do. If you want to use your mind, you can use it. Otherwise, it will just be there still. Right now, your hands are here like this. Do you have to tie your hands together so that they can stay in one place? No. If you want, you can keep your hands here. Whenever you want, you can use your hands consciously. So your hands are a useful tool for you. Supposing that your hands just start moving unconsciously without any control of yours. If it becomes like this, then you will become ridiculous, isn't it? If it happens to your mind, then also you are equally ridiculous. It is just that. Just because you are living in a comfort where nobody can see it, it does not mean that it is not happening. And if people start to observe closely, then also they can observe that something is going on up here, which is not normal. The most important faculty of your life is out of control. That is a problem. The most important faculty in your life is out of control, doing its own thing, doing its own rubbish all the time, not doing what you wanted it to do. It is not under your control. That's a problem. So if you have to be free of this ailment, you should stop eating wrong food or bad food. Wrong food means you are identifying yourself with things that you are not. If you sit here, you are not identified with this or this, then you will see that everything is just fine and peaceful. Then your mind will do whatever you want it to do. Otherwise, it will just hang there, peaceful, still, quiet. The mind should not be telling its own stories all the time. It should tell the stories that you want it to tell, isn't it? Otherwise, your mind can become quite a nuisance. So if you stop identifying yourself with this mind or the thoughts running in the mind, then you can just sit here quietly as a pure energy of this universe. You can sit here and you can just observe the mind. You can just silently observe the thoughts running in the mind without attaching your identity to it. And that is what I want you to do. Look at your mind, observe it, be a spectator, see it, watch it. Know that your mind is yours. But also remember at the same time that you are not your mind. So stop identifying yourself with something that you are not. Your mind belongs to you, isn't it? But you are not your mind. The day you realize that, the day you understand that, you can just sit here as you are quietly without associating yourself with your mind. And then you can sit here at peace. That day, you will have a total control over your mind. That day, if you want your mind to work, yes, it will work. And if you want your mind not to work, it will just be there, quiet and still, waiting for your orders. Just like these hands of yours. If I choose to keep my hands here, they will be here for as long as I want them to be. If I want my hands to move in a certain way, then only they will move. And the same can happen to your mind, children, the day you stop identifying yourself with it. We are always taught the more effort we put in, the more we'll get out of life. But of course, in life, that isn't always true. Take falling asleep, for example. You can prepare in the right way, put yourself in the most comfortable bed, put yourself in the most comfortable position, get yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. But after that, you can't force sleep to happen, right? In fact, it works exactly the other way around. The harder you try, the less sleepy you become. It's only when we stop trying that we finally let go and drift off. And before we know it, we are waking up the next morning feeling refreshed and relaxed after a good night's sleep. It's a very similar story when we are training the mind also. A nice metaphor for this is the idea of taming a wild horse. If you look at how a wild horse is actually tamed at a farm, rather than pinning it down in one place, you know what they do? The horse is let out on a very long rope and put in a big open spacious field. Now the horse can run around feeling like it's got all the space in the world to run about in. But very slowly, the rope is pulled in, and the horse finally adjusts to this new feeling until it comes to a natural place of rest. We are looking to do just the same thing with the mind when we meditate. We don't try to pin it down in one place, but we try to bring it to a natural place of rest. So let go of any idea of needing to achieve some control or something or getting something done. And instead, just enjoy this opportunity to just sit back and relax and be present in the world along with me as we do this beautiful breath meditation together. For this meditation, we are going to very curiously explore our breath. You're always breathing, but most of the time, we pay very little attention to it. For the next few minutes, we will feel, observe, and notice our breath as it happens. Alright? So let's get started. You may want to lie down, but if you cannot, it is okay if you are just sitting. Go ahead and just get comfortable. If you like, close your eyes and rest your hands gently on your belly. Like this. Now let's take a moment to notice the feeling of your hands touching your belly. As you breathe in, what do you feel happening to your hands? Do you feel them rising or being pushed out? And when you let your breath out, what happens now? Can you feel your hands sink along with your belly? Imagine that your hands are a sailboat, sailing over gentle rolling waves. Your breath comes in and your boat gently floats up. As your breath flows out, your boat tips down along with the waves. The boat does not move on its own. It just smoothly bobs up and down with the waves. Take a moment to notice your hands now and also your breath in this way. Now move your focus to the part of your nose where the air enters your body. Right inside your nose, inside your nostrils, you may feel the air touching as it enters. How does it feel? Is it warm or is it cool going in? And then when it flows out, does it feel the same? Is the air passing through your nose a bit warmer now? Let's pretend that you can see the air as it passes through your nose. As the cool air flows in through your body, it touches the inside of your nostrils. You can see it as a fresh, cool color, like blue or green. You could imagine this sparkling or even glowing as the oxygen in the air feeds your body and gives you life. When the air touches the inside of your nostrils on the way out, imagine it as a warm color. Try to see this like a movie in your mind. Breathe in cool, breathe out warm. Watch the colors as you feel the air flow in and out of your nostrils. Finally, let's pretend that you are a fish that was magically transformed into a human being. Fish do not have lungs, so your whole life you have breathed water through your gills. So this is the very first time you are experiencing breathing air. It is so strange and unfamiliar to you, and you are curious about this strange sensation of air filling your lungs. Just take a moment to appreciate your breath as if it were for the very first time in your life, children. What would it be like to feel the air passing through and touching the inside of your nostrils for the first time? How light it feels when your lungs fill and expand for the first time. How curious would it be when you feel your lungs emptying and falling back, deflating? Just explore each new feeling of breathing. Now let's take one more deep breath in and let it out. And open your eyes. So what are the things that we have learned today through today's video, children? What is the crux of meditation? The crux is this: you are an energy. That's it. You are the true consciousness of this entire universe. You are not the body, not the mind, and certainly not the thoughts running in your mind. So stop identifying yourself with your body or your mind or your thoughts, because in the vastness of this entire universe, in terms of both time and space, you are just a nanospeck. Not even a microspeck, just a nanospeck, and nothing more than that. Because you are identifying yourself with your mind and your body, you are sad or remorseful about what happened in your past, or you are worried and anxious about what might happen in the future. But you are never living in the present moment, and you know that you can be at peace only when you live in the present moment. Only this present moment is life. Just like Eckhart Tolle always says, this present moment is all that you really have, and only this present moment is actual life. And to teach you that, to make you understand or realize that, we make you focus on a mantra or a word or breath while we meditate. Why do we make you focus on your breath, for example? Just to make you return to that present moment. Because your breath serves as an anchor to bring you back to the present moment. Because ultimately, that's all that you really have, this present moment. And once you return to the present moment, understanding that you are a pure energy of this universe, you can actually get away or distance yourself from the mind and just watch it, observe it like a seer, like a spectator or an observer. And then you don't have to fight your mind or run away from it. And then when you don't have to fight your mind or run away from it, it slowly calms down. Thoughts start to settle down eventually. Do you know why, children? Because now you have realized that you are not your mind, and the need to struggle or fight with it goes away. Because now you can step back and you can quietly sit down at a distance from your mind and just watch it. Because now you know that you are not the mind. Because now you have realized that you are a pure energy that belongs to this entire universe, and this energy is way beyond and way bigger than that body or the mind. That is yours. Always remember that. Your body is yours. Your mind is also yours. But they can never become you. Although, only for the time being, I am agreeing with you when it comes to the body or the mind being yours. Later on, I'm going to refute that as well. But for the time being, let's just stick to this. And let me just re-emphasize the fact that you are not your body and nor your mind. Neither are you the thoughts running in your mind. Later on, I'm going to teach you that this body or this mind does not even belong to you. But that's for a different day. That lesson, that video is for a different day. But for now, for today, let's just wrap up this video with the simple and the most fundamental learning about life. You are not the body. You are not even the mind. And you are definitely not the thoughts running through your mind. Have a great day, children, and may God bless you all.